Okay, right. Back on 7 Days to Die. And I thought I'd show you, I'm in creative. As you can see, I can fly. Yay! Flying! But no, I thought I'd show you a little bit of construction and deconstruction and some of the things to think about when you're playing the game. So, basic construction, houses, buildings, any structure you make, you would put down initially a frame like so. There are a bunch of different frames. These are the three that I've used, and they're the easiest ones to kind of make and fiddle around with. There are others, and depending on what you want to achieve, what look, you can do this. There are solid blocks. Let me show you one of these as well, because I've forgotten that off of my list. So, if I put that down real quick. And again, there are many of these. This is just one example, okay? Now, very similar to Space Engineers in the sense that you put down a frame, you frame out your work, and then you have to upgrade. You get, in the tutorial, very briefly touches on this, but what you need is, in your inventory, you need all the gear that you're going to use to upgrade the block. You need to have it on you. Otherwise, you won't be able to upgrade it, and you'll get a funny tinkering sound, and down in the bottom right here, you get the product that you need. It will look like one of these. It will look something like that, with a red X, meaning you haven't got it in your inventory. We haven't got enough. So, let's quickly look at the wooden one. There you go. That's upgraded. Now, the other point is these, if I bring up this, I'm going to open this, these tools down here, stone axe, wrench, claw hammer, nail gun, there might be others, but this is the only ones I've encountered, are construction tools, okay, and you use them with a right click to take the products from your inventory and put them into the square. Now this is the basic wooden block. It takes, you go into it and put frame, and you look for the wooden frame there. It takes 5 wood to make one, which is next to nothing. You can get that very simply. Even with a stone axe you could get that very easily. So once you've got your build and you want to upgrade, so because obviously this only has a very small amount of hit points, and if I was to hit this now, you can see there it's only got 200 hit points, and even the stone axe, the crappy level, does a fair bit of damage to it, so it's not going to hold the zombies back. And there you go again with the construction tool. You can right click and repair. So that's one layer of wood. That's 2 layers of wood. Okay, so I've upgraded again. Now if I switch to a tool again and hit that and keep hitting that until it breaks. So I've got 200 hit points plus the first layer we put down with another 200 hit points. Okay, so we're back, upgrade that again, and then we got 1 layer of scrap iron. This stuff you can either get that from scrapping stuff in the world, or putting raw iron into your furnace and then getting it come out like that. Okay, so that's 1 layer of raw iron. That's the second layer of raw iron, and that's the final layer of raw iron. Again, if we damage these, that one's got 1,000 hit points. So there's 1,000 hit points of iron before it gets to the wood core. Okay, and then we go up again. The next one to this is concrete. So there we go. We've got a concrete core, which has a 3,000 hit points. Okay, then we can put extra concrete and wood around it. This is a hardened layer of concrete, and that, when it dries, will have, I think, 6,000 to 8,000 hit points. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly grab a concrete block. Well, it helps if I can spell. I don't think I can get one. Okay, well, we'll see if one of them dries before the end of this demonstration. Well, this, again, you can upgrade to the next level, which is steel. Okay, so if we get that one, this is the rebar frame. One upgrade gives it the wooden trim for the form. Second upgrade, straight into concrete. So resource-wise, I've gone from wood frame, wood, iron, steel, iron, concrete, and then concrete again. For this one, gives me directly rebar to concrete. So it's if you can make concrete, probably the best way to go. When this one dries again, it could be upgraded as that one. The other one is the cobblestone. This one's kind of cool. You make cobblestone frames, upgrade it with a bunch of these cobblestones. Cobblestones only, the rocks only take some stone and some clay. You can make them in your inventory, and it makes a very sturdy 1500 hit points on the exterior. Oh, hang on, my guy's hungry. Just give me a second. I didn't think hunger and that affected you in creative, but I guess it does. So we'll just quickly get rid of that. It's lucky I can spawn in crap loads of food and drink, isn't it, really? Right, we'll have another bacon and eggs, because why not? Reasons. Okay, and then again, we can upgrade the cobblestones to concrete. Okay, they're all wet concrete at the moment, so we can't do the next layer of upgrades. This one was... sorry, I've just done that too quickly. I'll show you again. This is a shingle, which is a pre-made texture on a block. You find them on a lot of the houses. A lot of the wooden blocks have different textures. You can automatically upgrade that to the second layer of wood upgrade. And then we go again to the iron. Keep going. Concrete. Yep. So that's upgrading the blocks. So you can start, when you have very limited resources, you can start with wood and up you go. Now, while those are drying, hopefully, I'm going to show you a little bit about deconstructing. Okay. The game has various things that you can pick up from, containers, cars, and the like. This car here, for instance, is a container. So you can open it up and then might be looting it. Now, if you were to deconstruct this car and make it pop, it would no longer spawn back. Once you deconstruct cars, they don't come back. Best thing I found to do is to deconstruct these ones. I call them junkers, because they're useless other than deconstructing, because they are not a container. You can't get any loot from them. So what you do is you get yourself a wrench. It's only a wrench that works for this. And you left click, and you can see on the bottom right there all the loots that I'm getting from this car. You get gas, headlights, iron, small iron rods, leather, and later on you can also get parts for your mini bike, such as the batteries and engines. Okay. Now, the same principle with the wrench applies to these stations. Okay. But I wanted to show you something first with this, is placing them. Now, if you place it like this, when you're, it will place in that elevation. The thing is, sometimes in your base you might be stood at an angle, and because they snap to the nearest square that you're pointing to, you might place it down and it suddenly spins 90 degrees on you. So my tip for you is to stand facing directly the orientation and the square where you want it, and then simply right click and it puts the base down. Now the crafting table or whatever it is down. Same goes for these blocks. When you have the sloped versions and the more complex designs, they will all snap to the orientation on the nearest full block. So if you're building a roof and you're facing a different angle and you put a slope on, it could go the wrong way. Okay, let's see if I've got a slope. Let's pick up I keep opening the wrong inventory because I'm so used to opening the other one in real game. It's not really done much in creative, to be honest with you. So this is a demonstration. So there you go. I want the slope to face this way. But look, if I'm at an angle, it might say go that way, but if you can notice it's flickering, it might flick to go this way. So the best thing to do is get into a position where you want it and then snap it down. You can, by pressing the left, rotate through all the angles, and that's preferable. But if you automatically want to snap and drop it down, more likely with benches, then you need to be a bit more careful. These benches can all be constructed once you learn the skills, but more likely you're going to find one in the world. And you just use your wrench, as before you did on the car, and wait for the progress bar to go down. And you get a pop like that. And then in my inventory I have the chemistry station there. Okay, same for the workbench. I think the workbench actually goes to a little one in the real world, I can't remember. We'll find out. So, using the left click to deconstruct, right click to construct. Nope, it goes straight into my inventory. There you go, workbench, chemistry station. Now, here's an important one. The forge. Now the forge is very similar to a lot of other interfaces you're going to use, like the campfire, and the forge, and a few others. But you might want to move your forge. So let's say you do. I've had this cooking away for a little while. I'm just going to clear some inventory space a minute, just so I can get these in. I don't need these now. Thank you very much for your time. Right, as I mentioned before, the different windows here. This is your recipes. You can skip through them. This is my inventory that I'm carrying. This is the tools inventory. I have another video that goes more into depth into this. And this is the fuel. And this is the important part here. Now, if I just use my wrench on this forge as is, I will lose all of these tools. And trust me, you don't want to lose your calipers. They're a bastard to find. I would lose all the fuel, but more as well, I would lose anything that's already cooking or melting. So the best thing to do is to go into your forge, find out what you have. You have clay, you have iron, so probably make some forged iron. Or you can literally, if you need forged iron, you can literally just say, right, I'll make some iron and I'll make some clay. So you can keep it, and then it comes back out in the outputs there, right? So then you can just pick that up, and these numbers go down. You know, if we go for iron, we go for forged iron, craft it all like that, and then now this has nothing. This has 9 pieces of iron and some clay, so we could just tell that to maximize that, and clay, maximize the lumps of clay that are coming out. Now that's going to take, you know, over nearly 12 minutes or so to cook all that. And as this is creative, it doesn't really make a difference. But you must remember, you just switch it off, take all your fuel out, and highly important is to take your tools out. Because if I show you this now, as that is, I'm going to, yeah, I got one spot. I'm going to take this down. Unfortunately, it does take a little while, so you have to put up with me chatting. There's a little design over there. This is my creative world. There's a little design over there I've been working on for a zombie killing area. But I could show you that instead of these. Yes, I've used the upgraded steel on these guys over here, so it will show you the next layer to the concrete. So, do you know what? This is going to take far too long. I mean, I'm nowhere near. So basically what happens is I get that, pick it up in my inventory as I did with the benches and so forth, but it would only be the forge, and I would lose all of this, all of this, all of this, anything here. I would lose anything that's in it. So if you're going to move your forge, empty it first. Ah, here we go. Cool. Right, now you can see the difference. For some reason that one's dried quicker. No idea why. It's one of the last ones I did. That's a concrete block, one of these that's dried. So I hit that now with the upgrade. It goes to steel. Forged steel goes straight into it. And the cool thing about it is it has different faces. It has those faces there, and these you can, I think you can spin the block around. I'm not 100% sure when you lay it, but I think that always comes as a top block. And it looks like a, to me it's great for the bottom of my pit. If you've seen that, it looks like a sluice. And then beyond this, there are these things. Reinforced steel upgrade. Now, the only place I found these is at traders. Now, I don't know whether that is the only place to find them, but to my knowledge, and I'm sure I'll be corrected, the only place to find them is the trader. They're quite expensive, and I'm not sure how many it takes per one. There you go, it takes 10 per one. So there you go. I've just that is a fully upgraded block. It doesn't, if I try and upgrade it now, I don't get an error message with a cross down in the bottom. It is fully upgraded, can't anymore. So if I hit that, you know, you've got 12,000, and then you've got the concrete core, and then you've got the smaller one. So you can imagine this one's going to take quite a long time to destroy. Well, that's really all I can think about placing, upgrading, and dismantling blocks. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you soon.